Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, we just want to give those that are still joining our lives about 3 minutes and comfortable, and then we'll start the program. So, do bear with us as we just give them a little bit more time to join. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for joining us on this webinar, the Value Creation Challenge. I think all of us are so excited about this. It is one of our annual challenges that we have at 825 Innovation Hub. And this year we're excited because of our special partners that are on board. But for those that don't have an idea what Value Creation Challenge is, for us, it's a national-wide incubation program from 8 to 5 Innovation Hub, and it's powered by Old Mutual. We also have partnerships with British Council, the British Embassy, and EFT. And the program essentially provides professional business development and learning opportunities. It also gives you access to connections and financial support to the entrepreneurs that participate in it. And their businesses must not be more than 5 years old. So even if you've got an idea that you think will change the world and your business is almost at 5 years, you qualify. I think for all of you who have gone through our website, have had an idea of some of the pillars that we have, and we'll also get an in-depth insight regarding these pillars from both our partners as well as 8 to 5. Please note, if you do have questions, before the question and answer section is opened up, you can type it up in the comment section, and then our team will go through it, and we'll also ask the partners to give us their deliberations in that regard. So without much further ado, allow me to open up the floor to our partners. They will give their brief introduction of who they are and a few words regarding the Value Creation Challenge, and also a few angles from their organizations and how they see the impact and the participation that they're going to give to the program. So allow me to open up the floor first to the British Embassy. If you may just come through and give us a few remarks as well as introduction of who exactly you are.
Hi, Pezzi. Thank you very much. My name is David Gate. I'm the head of trade and investment at the British Embassy. And so what we're looking for in the Value Creation Challenge is exciting ideas. Exciting ideas that can potentially change the world, ideas that we can get behind, ideas that we can support, and potentially link with UK partners, UK technology, and possibly UK financing and investment as well. So I'm really excited to go through the VCC and sort of see the kinds of ideas that some of these exciting startups have in Zimbabwe. That's the quick intro from my side. Back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. It seems like we've got an exciting period coming up. Thanks so much, Dave.
Absolutely.
Allow me now to also just introduce British Council, represented by Chipo. If you can just give us your remarks as well as a brief introduction.
Hi, Pezzi. I hope you are well. Hi, everyone. My name is Chipo Kanyumbu. I'm the program manager in the arts department at British Council. And we are very excited to be part of VCC this term. And we are really looking forward to engaging with young people and also looking forward to all the great ideas and great businesses that are out there that really wants to go to the other level in terms of getting access to incubation and all the other business support that is available. So looking forward to that, and I'm super excited as well to also engage more actively and intimately with creatives. So yeah, looking forward to all of it.
Thanks so much, Chipo. So tell me, you were very active also with the VCC 2022. Maybe if you're able to just give us a few nuggets or some spice for those that are watching to encourage them to actually take it very serious and apply. How was VCC 2022 for you?
Yeah, so I think you're right. This program it's very legit, if I should say so. Yeah, because I think most people are not really confident enough to understand that there is actually opportunity to get seed funding from the project. And also, there's also opportunity to engage with industry experts as well from this program. So I'm really encouraging all of those who have not been able to be part of this process to come through and to also engage this year. And also, we are also even encouraging those who were not able to get to the next stage from last time to come and refine their ideas and to present their ideas so that you don't miss out on the opportunity that is available.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. We're also equally excited, especially for the spotlight on the creators this particular year. So all the creators who are in the comment section and those watching live, make sure you apply. Now I'm just going to open up the opportunity for Old Mutual to just give us their sentiments as well as a brief introduction for the VCC 2023.
Thank you very much, Pedzi. My name is Lillian Mbaiwa from Old Mutual. And I would just like to say that we are very excited to be back again with VCC. We have done this for a few years now, and we know that it's getting better and better each year. This year we are excited because we have new partners in EFT and British Embassy, and we welcome them to this very, very noble initiative. Just to the startups and entrepreneurs out there, just a word of encouragement. I think the first step really is to make that step to participate and apply. Because I think once you do that, there is definitely something that you will take away, regardless of how far you go with the challenge. So we do look forward to seeing all the exciting ideas and businesses that are out there. From last year, I would say that since we started, the quality of entries that we've been getting have been getting better and better. So this year we expect to see really great things coming from you guys out there. So thanks, Pedzi. Look forward to another amazing year of VCC.
Thanks so much, Lillian. Okay, so EFT could not join us today, but they're still in full support for that. We just had a clash of in terms of the programming for this particular live. But right now we are going to go straight into the questions, and we will have our partners who are available just come through and answer them. All right, so our first question for today from our comment section, it reads, if I have an idea and I'm yet to actually launch the business, can the hub assist me? Can VCC assist me? All right, we'll just open this one. In opening, could you please give this to Old Mutual, Lillian?
Certainly, Pedzi, thank you. Absolutely. Yes, you are able to participate. We welcome ideas as well. So it's important, that though you answer all the questions on the application form, and that, you also indicate on the form that you're not yet operating, but, also be able to articulate clearly what stage you are at in terms of your activities.
Apologies for that, I was on mute. Thank you so much for that. I see in the comment section, it's Sharon Munyani is also saying, that's my question as well. I hope you have been sufficiently answered on that one. Just keep your questions coming through, send them through to our comment section and we'll answer. Okay? A question from LinkedIn is, if my business is over 5 years, can the hub assist me? If my business is over 5 years, can the hub assist me? Okay, this is almost similar to the one that came, but I'll answer this one on behalf of 8 to 5 Innovation Hub, because the criteria for Value Creation Challenge limits the businesses to be up to 5 years old. If your business feeds into one of the pillars for Value Creation Challenge, you can actually come to the 8 to 5 Innovation Hub. We are located in the CBD, corner Jason Moyer First, which is 54 Jason Moyer by 3 Anger House. We're in the 4th floor. and we can actually discuss your business, and we can give you guidance on how exactly you can make your business much better. So thank you so much for that question. Right, moving on to our next question. Lloyd Tafire says, how much is the seed funding? How much is the seed funding? Can I give this question over to, okay, just give me a second. Let me just give this question over to British Council. Chibo, would you be able to just answer this question for us? How much is the seed funding for VCC 2023?
Okay, thanks, Betsy, for that. The seed funding is up to US 30,000. So
Perfect.
up to US $30,000. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what's
Thank you
up
so
for
much.
grapes. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I would definitely love to be part of this competition and get $30,000 for my startup. But maybe also you can just give us just an idea from British Council side when it comes to the creatives. What more do we have, and what do we expect from the challenge beyond the seed funding? The seed funding is good, 30,000. But I believe that even for any startup, there's more support that is required. You just give us a highlight of what this would look like.
Okay, so on top of the seed funding, there's also going to be opportunities for business coaching. So all of those who really want to get their businesses onto the next level, there's going to be access to experts who can actually go through with you one-on-one business coaching sessions. And there's also going to be an opportunity for mentorship as well. And also on top of that, you can also be eligible to be part of the VCC alumni. So within that alumni group, there's also going to be other customized programs that are going to be on offer. So having access to networks, networking opportunities, also going for creative hustles, which are panel discussion opportunities for individuals to to come together and talk about their businesses and some of the issues that are affecting them. So there's plenty of opportunities that we have availed for this program. So yeah, encouraging everyone to be part of it.
A lot available for the startups that apply. Still moving on with our questions, I would allow Dave to answer this one. Can one apply in more than one pillar? Can one startup apply in more than one pillar? I know there's a tendency for us as startups to think around our business fitting into so many segments. But Dave, would you also just help us in answering this question?
Yep, thanks, Betsy. So the answer to that is you're limited to one application per person, which makes sense if you are working on an idea or a business, that you should have your focus on building that one idea and that one startup. So it's the same for the VCC. It's going to be one application per person.
Allow us to just jump back to Lillian. And the question that has just popped up is, do I get a confirmation email after applying? Do I get a confirmation email after I apply for the Value Creation Challenge?
Okay, thanks, Pedzi. No, you do not get a confirmation email after applying. However, on the last application screen, after you submit your application, you will see a message that says, "Thank you for submitting your application." So that is a cue to you that we have received your application and you have succeeded in completing your application.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I think a lot of people will be getting anxious when they they apply and then they don't get a response. But just hang in there. The responses will come. Moving on with our questions. Right. This question is my business is still in ideation stage. Am I eligible to apply? I think this one has been answered, but I'll just also allow Dave to just go into it and give us a bit more detail. My business is still in an ideation stage. Am I eligible to apply?
Thanks, Pedzi. So that was asked earlier, and the answer to that is yes, you can still apply. As you go through the application form on the website, you just need to make sure that you specify that this idea is an idea. It's not a business that's currently operating. We actually encourage you to apply if you've got ideas that you think could change the world, because that's what the VCC is there to support, building up those ideas, taking you through the paces of how you can get from idea to a business model to something that you can actually deploy in the market. So we would encourage you to apply, whether it's operating or not, as long as you feel it's something that is meaningful and could potentially change the world. You are
Okay,
muted,
thank you so much for
Pedzi.
that, Dave. Technology. Okay, we do have another question from Sharon. And the question reads, how far do you interact with the organization that would have gotten the funding? What are your expectations in terms of monitoring and evaluating these funds? Okay, how far do you interact with the organization that would have gotten the funding? And what are the expectations of monitoring and evaluating of these funds? Allow me to open this question up to Old Mutual, and it shall be taken by Lillian.
Okay, thank you so much, Pedzi. I will also ask Anesu to come in. But I think to answer the question, we absolutely will continue to interact with the startup that would have received the funds and the funding. Obviously, we are looking for a sustainable way to support the businesses. And for us to be able to support the businesses, we also want to leverage on the expertise that we have as a business. For example, we have executives who are quite knowledgeable and experienced, who can add and weigh in on some nuggets that will assist the business to continue to be successful. And we would like to, to ensure that, there is the businesses benefit from such initiatives. So I think, but then we do have a full program on the incubation or acceleration. Once we have issued out the funds to the businesses, which I would like to ask Anesu maybe to elaborate on a bit. Anesu, if you don't mind.
So yes, you will get to interact with the partner organizations that are sponsoring Value Creation Challenge. Because as Lillian mentioned, they are going to be leveraging a lot on the internal talent and resources, as well as the executive committee and elements of mentoring and coaching. And some workshops through the incubation program are going to be facilitated through the creative hustles that were also mentioned by Chipo, and as well as the executives facilitating some of the modules within the incubation program. As for how will the funds be monitored and how are they going to be used, if you do get to the incubation stage, you will have certain criteria that you'll need to fulfill, and it'll be aligning to what your business is and what you would have learned throughout your modules and the incubation program. So that's how the monitoring would be happening throughout that situation. And then obviously would love to keep track in terms of how is the seed funding grown, what are your plans with it, and where are you? And there will be a lot of interaction thereafter. We're not just going to let you go off in the wind. So thank you for that question.
Thanks so much, Anis and Lillian, for that answer. So we are still moving on. Oh, the questions are flying in. These are some great questions. This question is coming from Audrey. And Audrey says, I am into the photography industry. However, the proposal I have incorporates new technological innovations that create business sustainability. In the creative section of VCC, it states music, literature, and fashion. Does this make me ineligible? If no, which section am I qualified for? So this is a blend. So I think we'll answer together 85 as well as British Council. So Chipo, if you're able to just give your thoughts in terms of this question, and then we'll also just solidify with the follow-up answer. Okay, I'll also just repeat the question. Audrey says, I am into the photography industry. However, the proposal I have incorporates new technological
Yeah.
innovation.
Okay, so I think on this one, okay. Hi, Betty.
Hi, Chipo. Yes, we can hear you. I think there was just a slight delay.
Hello?
Okay, I think we have just a slight internet delay.
Betty, I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, we'll just try to refresh. Just give us about 10 seconds. We just want to
Yeah,
refresh.
okay. All right, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, I think on this one, they can still apply. I think it would be very, very okay. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Right, I think we just had a slight technological glitch there, some network interference. But I'll repeat the question from Audrey. It says that I am in the photography industry. However, the proposal I have incorporates new technological innovations that create business sustainability. In the creative section of VCC, it states music, literature, and fashion. Does this make me ineligible? If not, which section am I qualified for? So I will just ask Chipo. This is a double-sided question, so I'll ask Chipo to answer the first part, and then we'll also answer the second part as 85 and on Micho.
Hi, Betty, can you hear me?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, I hope you can hear me, Pedzi. All right, so I think for that question, yeah, so for that question, yes, definitely. She can still go ahead and apply. But I think what's going to be important is to highlight, especially the emerging technology aspect of her idea. And I think she can now apply under the emerging technologies because I think that's where um, the focus of her idea is going to be. So I think the most important thing is to understand, like when you have like a mixed media type of a business, to see where your focus is going to lie, and then you can just pick a pillar that really concentrates on the gist of your idea. So yeah, she can still apply.
And also just answering the second part, if not, which section do you qualify for? Again, it comes down to the question that has been answered earlier, which then speaks about you picking one pillar, and that one pillar has to go with the kind of business. So the advice that I would have for you is, would you just also be more specific when you are selecting the pillar, whether it's sustainability or in this case, the creative? Select the one that gives more weight to your proposal. I hope that works for you. All right, going through some of our questions again. Okay, this one is from Sibo. It says, for creatives, does the business or idea have to be sustainable? Yes, it does have to be sustainable. Okay, yes. Does it have to be sustainable? So essentially, the business has to be sustainable. I'll answer this one from 8 to 5. It has to be sustainable because we want to support businesses that have good growth potential and that align to the development of the creative industry. So try as much as possible to input elements that show high sustainability and potential for growth for your specific industry. I think this one is yes, this one is from another participant. It says, should the business be registered? Allow me to open this up for the embassy. Dave, if you can take this up. Should the business be registered?
Yep, thanks. That's a quick one. So the business does not necessarily need to be registered, as long as you feel like it's a viable business, it's a viable idea. Again, it goes back to I think one of our earlier comments around, even if it's an idea that's not yet a business, you can still submit that to the challenge. So quick answer on that one is it does not have to be registered.
All right, there is a question. Thanks so much, Dave, for that answer. There's a question that came in from Facebook just right now, and the participant says, how long payback period is this funding for? How long is the payback period for this funding? I'll just allow Anesu to just open up audio and just answer this one. How long is the payback period for the funding? I think a lot of people have this kind of question too.
Okay, thank you for that question. This person has clearly been through a few venture capitalist rounds for him to ask such a question. So for this particular seed fund, there is no payback period because it is a seed fund as a result of the challenge. However, with the type of business that Old Mutual is, as well as the British Embassy and the investment side, if your business has potential to actually be greater than what is on the table, you might have potential to talk to potential investors within these other organizations. And that's when they would advise situations of payback period and how involved they will be in the business. But in terms of for the value creation challenge, the organizations and the sponsors will only be involved in terms of the incubation period and how your business is growing and to continue to mentor and to assist.
Thanks so much for that answer, Anya. So I think it also dovetails into Tino's question. It says, if you fund the business, will you want to be a part of the business in terms of shareholding? I would love to open this up for Lillian to answer from an Old Mutual perspective. If you fund the business, will you want to be part of the business in terms of shareholding?
Okay, Pezzi, and I'll also hopefully get some help from my colleagues to answer the question. So from my perspective for the value creation challenge, at this stage, the funding that we are making available from the 30,000 pot doesn't really come with any equity on our part. However, if we go to a stage where we see that maybe the business is viable and through our other instruments, speaking from within Old Mutual, we decide to invest a lot more in the business, then that's the stage where we could have those kind of discussions, around us maybe holding some equity in the business. So for the purpose of the current, I think, structure for value creation challenge, I would say no. But please correct me, my colleagues there, Anesu, Pezzi, if I have missed something, and I think Dave as well, and Chibo.
I think you've actually hit the nail on the head. I would also just open it up to Dave to give a perspective in terms of the question for shareholding and the kind of follow on after the funding. Over to you, Dave. Okay, whilst we're waiting for Dave, I think there are a number of questions that are in the comments section, but they seem to also just be repetitive. So what I will do is just give you answers that were mentioned before someone had jumped on. The first one is about how many applications can I put through the challenge. It's just one application per business. So you just need to make sure that you direct your proposal to the relevant pillar. Someone is also asking about the timelines and if there are any confirmations after the submission. The timelines, for those that don't know the timelines, especially for the challenge, if you go to our website, which is vcc3.825.co.zw, there is a timeline there that also keeps you in the loop. We also have a timer that is telling you how many days until the close of the application period. And thereafter, because the applications will be quite a number, we will only be able to respond to those that have successfully moved to the next stage. So just make sure that in applying, you really put your best foot forward and give as much detail to those, the panelists that will go through the application forms. Okay. And again, within that same point, the selected applicants will be informed of the incubation dates and all those, the venues, and just the basic calendar for the incubation period.
There's a question from Clemens Alfonso. He said, how many people are you expecting to qualify for this challenge? If you look on the Value Creation Challenge website, you will see that there'll be a short listing of the top 100, then top 50, and then top 25. The top 25 will enter a boot camp, which will last 3 days. And from that boot camp and how they perform and how they are evaluated by the facilitators and the final pitch, then they will enter top 10 into the incubation program. So these top 10 will go through the incubation program. So I hope we've answered your question, Clemens.
Thanks so much, Anissa, for that. Allow me to direct this question to Dave. It reads, is the VCC 2023 open to non-Zimbabwean citizens or foreign citizens, even if they are Zimbabwean? Dave, would you please tackle this one for us?
you hear me?
Perfectly, yes. Thank you.
Oh, great. So before I get to this one, let me just answer the previous one when I had a technical challenge. So I was saying there's a couple of stages involved in this. The first is obviously going through the VCC until you get to the point where it ends and you get your allocation of the $30,000 pot. And like Lillian said, there is no shareholding involved with that. Neither are there any payback periods required from there. There's a lot, though, that could potentially happen after that. And again, I think Lillian highlighted a bit of that, where if your idea is brilliant enough and it's something that, for example, Old Mutual feels like they need to invest in, they could potentially do that. But also from our side as the British Embassy, if it's a brilliant idea that we feel really would be interested in engaging ourselves a bit more with, we would. And there are typically three avenues that could take. So the first one is it could be in the form of a grant, assuming that it's an idea that we feel still needs additional development or is still too risky for private sector participants to come in and sort of invest in. So we could provide grant funding to develop that idea further. The second funding route would possibly be debt. And this could be debt that could come in from one of our entities as a UK government, or it could be through one of our partner banks or investors that we work with. For that one, that would then depend on the negotiations and the discussions that happen between the funder, the potential funder, who might be the bank, and the entrepreneur, depending on how much is required, what the payback period looks like. The third route is typically a direct equity injection, where, assuming, for example, it's a fintech startup that looks really exciting, and possibly maybe it's in the remittances space, we could find a UK investor that's interested in that space that could then invest and inject direct capital into that enterprise and get an equity stake in return. Again, there's no prescription on what that equity stake would look like, because at the end of the day, it all depends on what the value is, what the negotiations between the entrepreneur and the investor are. But these are all different avenues that could open up after the end of the challenge. When you've got your 30,000 and you're looking at scaling beyond just the challenge itself. Old Mutual could come in, we could come in, EFT could come in, or any of the partners involved in this could come in and sort of negotiate terms that would be agreeable to the parties involved. To come to your current question, where you're asking if this is open to non-Zimbabweans, I think the answer is this is open to Zimbabwean citizens at the moment. There's a nuance to that makes it a bit complicated, but I guess Anesu could come in and shed a bit more light on it. Where I think the question asked what if you're a Zimbabwean citizen and you're resident out of Zimbabwe? The complication might be on some of the activities that you'd need to engage on, including maybe the boot camp and some of the presentations, which would require you to be physically present in Zimbabwe. But I'll let maybe Anesu or Lillian just shed a bit more light on that slight nuance. But the fundamental answer is this is open to Zimbabwean citizens. I'll hand over to you, either Anesu or Lillian or anyone else.
Thanks so much for that, Dave.
Yeah.
So let's get just a bit of contribution from Lillian regarding that one. The question being, if I am a Zimbabwean citizen, but I'm based in another country, will I still be eligible?
Okay, thanks, Pedzi. Can I please ask Anesu to respond on this one? I know it's
Okay, no, it's fine. Thank you. Yes, you can if the project is impacting the Zimbabwean economy, because the whole thrust as well from all of the partner organizations is contributing to economic development of the nation. So if it's impacting what we are doing as a nation and how we're trying to drive youth being in the forefront of driving this economic development, then yes, you can apply. If the business is either one operating, impacting Zimbabwe directly, or maybe addressing needs for Zimbabweans in the diaspora. Thank you.
Thanks so much for that one. Chipo, I would love you to answer this question. It's coming from Mandipa. And it says, Madiba says, what if I've submitted my proposal before to a separate entity and received small funding for it before? Can I apply with the same project if I need more funding? All right, I think we have a slight lag on Chipo. But Chipo, if you can hear, you can proceed. Okay, so there is a question from Audrey. It says, in the event that one does not make it, what other channels or programs are available for similar opportunities? I'll answer this from an 8 to 5 perspective, and then Anisu can also jump in just to add on. So, for example, if you do not manage to make it through to top 10 for the program, there are still several alumni programs that will run concurrently to the boot camps as well as the incubation. We have so many programs, for example, master classes that will also benefit your business. We have got meetups that happen, as you heard earlier through Lillian. We've got executives that will come in from Old Mutual. We also have those that will come in from the British Council and the British Embassy. So there is going to be quite an intense program that will also benefit the alumni and those that did not manage to make it to the top. So the top does not necessarily mean that you don't win. You still also have access to much of the program's support, especially also from the 8 to 5 perspective. So just a heads up, we've got 2 minutes left on our clock to end the live. So I think we've only got room for one more question. Let me just find out what we have left. The last question, I'll direct it to Anesu, and it's from Maximus. And it reads, what if I'm not sure of the pillar that my business fits into? It's an agri-inclined business. Are these eligible? What if clear regarding the pillar that my business fits into and it's an agri-inclined business? Are these eligible? Anis, you can take this one on.
Okay. Thank you for that question, Maximus. If you're not sure which pillar that your business fits in, you can probably write a brief email to the Value Creation Challenge dedicated mailbox to the team, maybe just to give them a brief overview of what your business is. And if it's agri-inclined, I would assume maybe it might fall under the sustainability pillar, because there seem to be quite a number of agri-inclined businesses that fall under this pillar. So you can go to the Value Creation Challenge website and you'll be able to find where to contact the team, and they can maybe give a little bit of guidance in terms of which pillar your business falls under. Thank you.
Thanks so much for that, Anesu. I hope, Maximo, you have been adequately answered. But also, for those that are wondering, if you want to communicate also with the team, the email address is vcc@825.co.zw, vcc@825.co.zw. I would also urge you to look through the website, which is vcc3.825.co.zw. And most of the questions that you have will be answered through this. You can also continue to ask questions on the platform through the link on this live, and we will have our team answer them as they continue to accumulate. Now, as we close off, I'm just going to give our partners just exactly 30 seconds to give us some parting shots, and then we'll call it a day so that we give all of you in the comment section enough time to apply, to complete those applications, and to just interact amongst yourselves. We'll start with Dave. Would you just give us your parting shots, please?
Thanks, Betsy. It was lovely being part of this panel. And I really am excited about some of the ideas that will be coming through. And we'll be looking to see how best we can partner with some of those startups and entrepreneurs. Even if you don't make it to the top, like one of the questions that was asked, you still becoming part of a network that you can benefit significantly from, and will be able to build some of those partnerships and relationships that you would need to thrive as an entrepreneur. So looking forward to it. We are thoroughly excited. You're muted, Pezzi.
Oh my God. And I'd said such an amazing script. It was Oscar quality. Anyway, I just allow me to also just call Lillian to the screen to just give us her parting shots and some inspiration for all our applicants watching.
Thank you, Petsy. I think my parting shots are that, thank you so much for joining, those who were able to join this webinar. And just to encourage those who might have questions and who would like to apply, but are experiencing some, challenges, please do get in touch with us. We have shared the contact details. We are here to enable you to submit your proposals successfully. And also, finally, being International Women's Month, I would like to really, really encourage our female participants to submit proposals. If you look at the stats in Zim, 51%, I think, of the population are women. So if we can at least try to get to 50% so that we can have a balanced gender representation, that would be great. So all the ladies out there, please do apply. There's a lot for you to benefit from the Value Creation Challenge. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lillian, for those parting shots. And I think we're so excited in terms of the quota for the women. So all the ladies out there, please may you apply, and we'll see you in the incubation. Could we please have some parting shots from Chipo, if Chipo British Council? Okay, I think we're just having some slight technical difficulties on your end, but we'll allow Anisu to just give some closing remarks as 8 to 5.
Thank you, Betsy. I want to say thank you for everybody who managed to join this webinar, and there were some really, really great questions. And that curiosity means that you're really going through the site and you're eager. And as mentioned earlier, there's more to it than the money. There will be a great community that will be built around Value Creation Challenge, and the possibilities of actually formalizing your craft and growing your business. And there's a lot more to benefit from this. So don't get left out. Fortune favors the brave. Complete those applications before the submission time closes. And thank you once again. And if you have further questions, please go to the Value Creation Challenge website and email the team, and they'll be able to follow up with you for any additional questions. And we will respond to the outstanding questions that have not been answered. And you can send anything else via email. Thank you, everybody, and best of luck, and enjoy your day further.
Thank you so much, Anisu, for that. Thank you to all our partners here present, the British Council, British Embassy, Old Mutual, 8 to 5, and in absentia, EFT. So for all of you on all the varying platforms, continue to apply, refine your applications, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Petsy. Thanks, everyone.